take some time here because they got caught off in game one right here in the first ban phase. Normally we see a team rushing through this and go into their first two picks, not thinking too much, but I think LGD, okay, they do get rid of the Wisp, and Mirana is going to be instant pick for Weehaw.
Turn to pick.
You know, something I didn't talk about the last game was they had Elder Titan, but they paired it with a Bear Rider. Like usually the more common pairing is the Void because it's easier to execute. Like the last game we did not see any clean executions, less so into the Elder Titan ultimate. Like maybe that would be a better option if they wanted to go back for the Elder Titan this game.
There's that, and then there's also the fact that you have so much AoE damage over time that's going to wake people up. Sometimes that's going to work against you, so having Void is a little bit easier to execute, as you said. But Elder Titan going to be on LGD again here. And last game he didn't get much farm at all. If you get shut into your base by Naga Siren like that, early Radiance, and Elder Titan is not allowed to farm up, I feel that really hurts him. He's so great when he has Crimson Guard and Shivas getting those items in the mid-late game. Then he can be ultra aggressive, but else he really suffers.
Bear with it, they get that Beastmaster. DC, man, they're taking no time with their picks. Quick to fire, they grab up the Timber Saw right away. Heavy momentum, huge crowd pleaser as we know, and could cut the hero pool of LGD a little bit.
Yeah, similar like game plan from the last game. They're gonna try to move them around. Like Mirana plus Timber, you have a lot of D push. So you're gonna most likely force your opponent to move around the map. Elder Titan, Beastmaster, you have a lot of damage to try and catch them. So both teams will be trying to run around, dodge the Beastmaster gangs when you try to push the lanes and go for late game. And LGD most likely gonna build a 5-man draft to deal with that.
DC trying to get into the Roche pit would be very tricky when you have a Beastmaster Hawk and Elder Titan Spirit constantly on watch.
I think the Beastmaster pick is way better for LGD though, because it's much quicker. You don't need to wait for your Necro Book before you start fighting.
You don't need Blink, that's the key.
Yeah, you don't need Blink. You can just get level 6 and then start fighting. It also, like, I think pairs very well with like Ursa, which they could use, Drow Ranger, which they could also use, which is much earlier. It's a 5-man lineup that takes towers down early.
There's also a time when Xiao was a mid player and he played the best Beastmaster in the world, and now having that on the off lane, he still understands his hero very well, and it's very much stronger now than it was back then even. Also, I think LGD could go for a Tinker pick in this kind of a draft when you already have the Hawk and the Spirit as well. That's some good tools for Tinker to get online, and there's not great heroes so far in DC against him. Not terrible, but that Magic Burst is good against Timber.
Yeah, as long as they don't have like a Storm or Bear Rider, anything that can run behind the enemy lines to catch the Tinker. Tinker would be an awesome hero.
You'd save that for 5th pick though, but it's like something they could have in mind already.
You're saying heroes who can run around, and I'm seeing a Beastmaster, and I'm seeing the name LGD, and what keeps popping my head is Sylar Lycan. I know Sylar's not obviously in the team anymore, but Lycan still has been kind of a miss hero yet. Not the best record in the group stage.
But Lycan is not that great against Timber though, it's DC. Very likely to run off lane Timber on move.
I just feel the games that I watched with Lycan, he always suffered so much. Even the games where he got farm, he didn't kill enough people early enough. And there's so many heroes that are better at split pushing and taking towers if you want to do that. That's probably why he had like 1 win out of 13 games or something in the group stage. So I don't see that being an option for many teams here, and if they go for it, they better be really sure about it.
So Lycan is probably back in the doghouse is what you're saying.
Yes, Dakota.
LGD through the second phase of bans, get rid of that Shadow Demon, and also the Oracle really hitting DC in their defensive support department, while DC have gotten rid of the Coddle, but they continue to wait with their ban here.
So Shadow Demon and Oracle, 2 heroes that are banned out against the save, or the save against Beastmaster, so they clearly want to be able to kill people with a Beastmaster. I think it's maybe more gank oriented instead of...
I mean, there's still Dazzle and the bench, you know? There's still options for them if they were to get defensive support. I mean, Dazzle's still pretty good against Beastmaster.
I feel the Shadow Demon ban as well is something that a lot of teams have been doing, is the Shadow Demon Timbersaw. It's so easy to set up. With your ulti, you hold them in place, Timbersaw just cuts them down in no time with the damage amplification. Talking to some of the players here from different teams, they do value this pretty highly.
I would prefer Morphling Stun for Timbersaw, honestly.
Yes, but that's better than a Beastmaster, or of course you prefer.
Still waiting another ban. It's gonna be the Storm, so no maybe Storm will be seen on this day.
Why do you think they ban out the Storm here? So that they can't catch the Mirana and the Timbersaw?
I think it's against lanes. Maybe they don't want to get caught out like on the laning phase, having Timber against Storm. Something like that. But they have done safe lane Timber themselves as well on move. So Not quite sure
5
about this one.
seconds
I think they're
remaining.
just gonna pair Timber against Beastmaster. No?
Because usually you ban out Storm and you're gonna pick like something like a Tinker.
Reserve time.
Where we talk about how good Tinker is on LGD.
What about Drow? If you're fearing that gap closer to be able to get in your
DC's
face,
turn to pick.
definitely says DC are not considering a Huskar. They would have welcomed the magic damage with open arms, so it is a bit peculiar. In the meantime, though, LGD snag up the Disruptor support, who really hasn't seen a whole lot of love this main stage.
More team fight, and you have the silence for Timber and the glimpse as well for Timbersaw.
10
But I would say like
seconds
Skyrock
remaining.
is probably like stronger if you specifically you want to counter the Timbersaw.
5 seconds
For sure.
remaining.
I mean, he's better at countering, but it's so much easier to play Disruptor into the mid game, and that's probably why
Reserve
we've
time.
seen him like last 3 months or so. He's been really one of the most popular supports. Him and Ogre
I
be up
think
there.
it's also way easier to catch a Mirana with the Disruptor as opposed to a Sky. You just catch your glimpse very, very easy. And I think Disruptor is also way better in the team fight.
Yeah, but when you want to roam with the Beastmaster, cooldown would be a problem if you pair with the Disruptor. Skyrock. Skyrock has similar cooldown, like a shorter cooldown, so you can always have Skyrock ultimate for the Beastmaster rotations.
It's also faster burst to guarantee that you kill even Timber. We saw it earlier today, right? That Timbersaw just dying immediately to Mystic Flare, but
Bounty
I don't know.
hunter.
I go with Merlini on the team fight potential from
LGD's turn to
Disruptor.
pick.
DC, though, they move right into a Bounty Hunter pickup. Occasionally seeing it picked up, usually first phase to kind of set that tone, but here DC say that we want to have that maybe early laning pressure and obviously an ability to kind of build up economy real fast with that
Yeah,
crack.
it works with heroes like Ursa. Heroes that are very good at killing other
5
heroes, but not
seconds
very
remaining.
good at farming.
Yeah.
Use the track to accelerate your farm.
DC was also one of the teams that
Reserve
brought
time.
kind of the Lifestealer Ricky thing, and Misery plays so much Ricky and Bounty Hunter in general.
DC's
So
Here comes the
turn to
fight,
pick.
man.
Oh yeah, they're building into it.
That is not something Bounty Hunter is a fan of, going into 5-man, so if he does not do a good job in the early laning phase, you could find him really not doing a lot throughout the rest of the game here.
LGD's turn
DC's
to
response,
bat.
though, to the potential push in 5-man is getting a Wyvern. We know Wyvern is pretty damn good at being able to kind of spam out the waves with his Splinter Blasts, and he offers that defensive hero support that they do need.
I worry though, picking 3 melee strength heroes again against
10
Timbersaw, it
seconds
just gives him good options to cut down, you know? I feel that Timbersaw can really snowball if he gets a
5
good laning
seconds
phase here.
remaining.
They're drafting more for their own 5-man push though,
Yeah.
as opposed to
They're not
drafting.
They're not so
Reserve
worried about
time.
what the enemy has, but they're really focused on building on what they have. And
DC see that coming already. With the Winter Wyvern pick, like it's very difficult to push. Lycan, terrible versus the Beastmaster, already not very good versus the Winter Wyvern. Drow strats also suffer at the hand of the Winter Wyvern, so they've really covered their bases.
10
I feel they have
seconds
the
remaining.
creep clear to hold high ground as well if they come to that point against Dragon Knight, which you often do.
DC's turn
They
to
have the
ban.
Starfall, the Chakram, they have the Winter Wyvern. Sure, Bounty Hunter is really terrible at defending base, but I don't know. This is... LGD should probably respect the Timbersaw a little bit, because
it's
he can go out
difficult.
on hand.
It's difficult. I can see if a laning phase goes very well for DC, they have
10
more than enough
seconds
spam to
remaining.
hold back the 5-man. Like if LGD doesn't get any early pipes, heroes, it's gonna be extremely
DC's
difficult for them to
turn
push the
to
high
pick.
ground.
DC ban out the Morphling, and we'll see. I mean, Tinker's still on the table. He's good against the push, but if the push comes too fast, he might not be ready for it, is the other thing.
I still prefer maybe something like a Ursa, because
10
they're on Dire, then
seconds
they can use the Roshan. And they have the Bounty Hunter with...
But track and
Yeah.
rockets, bro.
5
I can
seconds,
rock
5
into it.
seconds remaining.
I actually like safe lane Sand King from them, but I don't really think they run it too often.
Reserve
Doesn't
time.
sound too resolution-y.
Feels like they need some more right click as well, but maybe Mirana could be that one hardcore and then Timbersaw deals the extra pure damage. But I like the Ursa idea. I think that could work. Sure. It would be quite easy, I feel, to lane him as well. Okay.
I mean, just overall, if you can actually execute and get an early Roshan, you can use the Aegis to defend against the push.
10
So it's
seconds
really good
remaining.
versus what LGD have. And it's fast paced, so you don't have to wait too long before the
5
hero comes
seconds
online for
remaining.
DC. 'Cause
And track movement speed as well with Ursa. It's just crazy.
Whoa.
Alright.
Haven't seen that guy in a while. Is their
LGD's turn to pick.
gyrocopter pops out 5th pick for DC.
Well, this is something like the Chinese teams do a lot when they're against a push threat. They pick a core that can fight very early, have very good D push.
That's all DC are scared of right now. Like, I think like their team fight's good, their high ground
10
defense is good.
seconds
Like
remaining.
they're gearing up in case LGD goes all in with the push, and it kind of
5
shows
seconds
that way,
remaining.
leaning towards the Beastmaster, the Dragon Knight.
Whoa!
Whoa.
Who's that guy? Necrophos by LGD?
5-man Dakota.
Oh,
five-
okay.
Man,
All right.
Mech and 5-man.
Will the stampede of LGD be enough to just stomp their way into a game 3, Ben?
I think they'll be able to deal with the Timbersaw quite early. Yeah, I like the Stampede. No Centaur, Necrophos. Good enough. Let's do it.
Yeah, but I think DC have what it takes to hold the high ground and just pull out the win here with their lineup.
I have to go with LGD just because they had the balls to pick the Necrophos here. This is just amazing.
Who do they think they are? Wings Gaming? Whatever. LGD versus Digital Chaos. Game 2 is about to get underway. Let's throw it to our casters now. We got LD and Mott.
Thanks so much, Dakota. We are here with game number 2, and as you guys talked about, it is, of course, the push strat versus resolution on that gyrocopter with a flat cannon. The main question, obviously, LD is, can DC withstand that push coming in from LGD?
I don't know. They picked... Is this number 104? I don't think we've seen a gyrocopter at the event yet. I believe he was unpicked as of yesterday or maybe the day before, so... They bring out a hero that historically is very good against 5-man strats, but the hero has been nerfed quite a bit, so we'll have to see if it gets the job done in this situation. I think for DC, as often is the case, it's really all about Misery on the Bounty Hunter early. Needs to slow them down, whether that's trying to prevent the Beastmaster from easily getting his Iron Talon jungling going, if that's pressuring the DK to secure the mid lane. They just have to delay the push as long as possible. Their split push is decent, Timbersaw and Mirana, but Disruptor and Beastmaster, this is an amazing combo to punish split push. And maybe they even get a Blink or a Shadow Blade on DK, we often see that. Then they have really good catch. So I'm not convinced that they can stop this engine. I favor LGD's draft, but Misery is the X factor.
Yeah, Misery, of course, the track gold will provide them a pretty good boon going their way if they're able to actually find couple of kills, and LGD in the jungle currently just sitting patiently waiting, as Sock said. Of course, the bounty hunter doing his job, rotating around in the jungle as needed, trying to just scout things out. No sentries placed down by LGD, at least none that he's walked into until the sentry that was placed down a moment ago near this small creep camp.
Gonna be Mirana mid up against the Dragon Knight. Obviously, DK relies on Dragon Blood to do well in the laning stage. Mirana does have good nuke damage, but needs the levels before it fully kicks in. They did get a glimpse of Misery there. Haven't skilled the glimpse, though. He will drop a sentry. Currently out of Radiant Vision, but he's about to walk into it.
Yeah, this is trouble for him now. Let's see what MMY goes for. Still no skills coming out in Banana as well. No Stomp skilled up. Not really going to chase him around.
Not that much kill potential at this stage, but once they get to level 2-3, they can kill him.
They're going to go with a Thunder Strike first, and then, of course, there's the immediate D-Ward, and no Stomp to follow from Banana. So the lane's shipping up right now, and it's just going to be this tri-lane versus tri-lane is what it looks like in this bottom lane. Dangerous, bloody.
Yeah, but they committed 3 wards there, and that means maybe he doesn't have a sentry mid, but the Bounty Hunter is not applying pressure in his lane, and just to be safe, they're now going to rotate Banana there. He drops the sentry. Normally, you'll see the Bounty Hunter puts pressure on the mid lane a lot of the time, and then there's that sentry war trade. And if there's no sentries mid, if you trade evenly, that's a win for the Bounty Hunter team. But now, mid has sentry vision. He knows that Misery's not there. This is going to make the lane a lot easier for Maybe than it otherwise would be, and also limits the kill potential if he plays this correctly. So it looks like a minor thing, but that's pretty big for LGD to start the laning phase.
Absolutely. He still is taking a fair bit of damage here in this mid lane for now, though. Weeha just applying as much pressure as possible, but down bottom is where the action's going to happen. If there's going to be some right click as well as a rocket barrage. Misery gets stomped up, though. Slept in, still in trouble. Thunder Strike getting him low, and First Blood goes the way of Banana. They're not done yet. The rocket barrage still doing some work, but it looks like that'll be the end of the trade.
I think it could be a kill opportunity there, but it's a really good echo stop, and it's been a big change with Elder Titan, where you used to see, like back in the old days when Bulba would take this hero solo mid, he was max the Spirit and Natural Order, so you could one-shot the range creep, push the wave, control the runes. Then it used to be more about the Natural Order, kind of in a vacuum, but we see the Stomp getting leveled up really early now, and maxed early, and man, it is devastating with the massive AoE it has. So early on, things looking pretty good here for LGD mid. Maybe is farming well with the Quelling Blade. He has the Stout Shield, so Weeha has a tough time harassing him. They're not worried about Bounty Hunter pressure. Also, it is worth mentioning, and specifically say, but LGD starting with the four sentries. Normally you only see a single pair, but that is part of why they're able to commit 2 here bottom.
That is some bounty hatred, as Misery is Might have been spotted out, but he will try to steal at least one of these creeps. Will deny one. MMY Glimpse, it has not been skilled up yet, so he's only got that Thunderstrike. He's level 2, so he's holding the point currently. He's very dangerous, obviously, in this tri-lane. And
Gyro's normally a strong tri-lane carry. That's one of the reasons why he got picked, but don't have a great setup for him. What is it, like a Winter Wyvern slow into a Bounty Hunter right-click with Orb of Venom into Rocket Barrage? That only works if you really catch someone out of position, and LGD have decent sustain from the Necrophos. They have really good defensive play from Glimpse. I don't feel like this tri-lane can get much done, especially after the first blood attempt backfired.
But they're going to rotate Misery at the very least to that mid lane, and we'll see if he can at least do some harass to maybe. It's very tough to bring him down with level 1 in the Dragon Blood. No level 2 early on here, so not quite as tanky as he could be.
Bounty Hunter, though. Like, what does maybe care about this, honestly?
Orb of Venom harass.
He doesn't even have Janata.
Shadow Walk does some work, but down bottom, the Rocket Barrage will go as finally they've decided to turn aggressive, and Resolution now getting caught out by the hero. Of course, it looks like he might get away. No, at Death Pulse, it's gonna hit him and he will fall. Kinetic Field, MMY, looks like he will get traded for Socks, however. Still though, getting over into the tower, stop not available for another 8 seconds, and he does get off that Cold Embrace to save his life. And to keep on fighting.
Nice job by Socks to salvage that one, but Misery, level 1, no Janata, really no threat whatsoever to a Dragon Knight. And as soon as he shows himself mid, LGD, they know they have the power play bottom, and they have a really good catch hero in the Disruptor. Hasn't skilled Glimpse yet, but at some point he's going to get it. Bounty Hunter showing himself in the other lanes is actually quite risky. If DC want to do that at this point, they either need to know that some of the LGD supports are missing, or they have to back off a little bit. Otherwise, when that Glimpse hits level 2, level 3, they are going to get punished. So DC say, this lane just isn't working. Moo has gotten a decent start. Let's send him bottom. Timbersaw with the level 3 reactive armor has gone for a very defensive build, but it's mostly nuke damage from this lane. I don't think LGD have great kill potential here, but once they get some levels, it's not impossible. They could bring Moo down. Especially
level 6 on that Necrophos. He's not that far off. Starstorm mid maybe will take some damage, and he is leading the CS. Again, we've talked about this before, LD. You look at a Dragon Knight, you don't expect him to win the lane, but he's doing pretty well right now. All things considered, obviously, top in CS now, tied with the Timbersaw. As he's looking for some aggression, MMY gonna get caught, Kinetic Field coming through. Timbershade coming in, and he just needed a little bit more, but he's gonna stay alive, 35 HP, and Moo cannot finish him off.
Still, Aggressive can't be happy about this. He's now been left 1v1 against the Timbersaw. He's out of mana, Moo's got plenty. Meanwhile, top though.
Xiao8 gonna get caught, the roar to save his life for the time being. Misery body blocks there. And he's
really
just not able to move anywhere. He's just getting body blocked left and right. Misery is just doing his work because they actually get this kill. He spent so much investment. Arrow sailing through. He will sidestep with the Rocket Barrage coming in. One more right click and he can't get it done.
Are you serious?
Xiao8 will stay alive, almost even killing Resolution. But still, he will have to back away.
Bottom though, maybe with a DD. Rody finds Moo.
They get the stun off with the Dragon Tail as well. Moo will eventually fall as the double damage and stop combine up to help him find a much-needed Timbersaw kill.
Oh, Xiao8, what a play. He dodges the arrow, he summons the board to tank the Rocket Barrage, all the while moving backwards. 4 heroes committed top. We had not a full commitment, but still tried to get involved in the gank, and they can't even kill an off-lane Beastmaster. Did have to use Roar, but he happily will do that. DC,
I mean, that's
gotta be frustrated.
That's incredible body blocking coming out from Misery, and they can't complete the kill after what seemed like a 30-second chase.
I mean, it's Wyvern Bounty Hunter. Like, Bounty Hunter is a decent roamer, an okay ganker, if you have a strong DPS hero, but Moo again getting caught.
And now he will get the Necrophos ulti, but it won't bring him down. Timbershade away, right click, sees the reactive armor going, so he should be okay. But their main objective has been accomplished as we hot TPs in. Now the Elder Dragon form is done, maybe getting chased down. Starstorm, arrow, sidestep to get by, maybe nicely done, but still.
He's got the sticks.
He will actually use it, but it's going to be the Warlike Death that brings him down as Moo again. This time he gets back into the lane and he gets revenge for his death.
Yeah, they have to get something when these power pushes happen, as they will be losing powers. It's the question of what do they get in return, how much do they get in return. Xiao8 again being pressured at the top lane.
Barrage swims back, coming in. There's gonna be Resolution.
Xiao8 wants to go forward with the Roar. He's gonna find Misery.
Axes, double Roar as well. Too much damage to withstand. Xiao8 will be able to pick up the kill with a little help from the Disruptor himself. Now he will They get a lot of gold. 30, of course, 37 CS for the DK in the mid lane. Continues to farm, maybe is up to the treads now. No bracers yet, no idea of Blink Dagger, Shadowblade, or what he's going to pick up, but there's not that much push coming in just yet. Again, the draft panel talked about this. LGD, they want to get this push started. It is 7.5 minutes to 8 minutes into the game now. Elder Dragon form probably will be used as much as possible to be able to push down these towers, but it's moved down bottom. Look at the pressure he's putting onto this tier 1. Going to work.
Timbersaw is quite strong at this stage of the game. There's still no Static Storm. MMY only level 4. That is the main threat to Mu as a hero. Also, Necrophos ult does have a long cooldown, especially early in the game. But it is mainly about pushing with the Dragonite ult. I think you should expect LGD to primarily be getting 5-man items. Necro book for Xiaowei. Hell, I could see even like a early pipe being picked up by one of these heroes, potentially. Certainly a mech would be nice if Banana can farm it. They are looking to 5-man. That said, game Necrophos is very scary, so I don't necessarily feel like DC just have auto-win late game. It's more, it's a little tough to deal with the split pushing Mirana and Timber. I still think they have the tools for it, but it comes to push.
It looks like Aggressive's actually picking up. Well, he's got double null tally. Veil's a definite possibility here if he wants to head down that route. And they're pushing, like you mentioned, Soxa will help with the Splinter Blast, but of course the TP rotation will actually back them off now. So there's some pushing mid coming out. That'll be from the side of the Mirana, played by Weeha, and he's doing some significant damage, but he will not put it in deny range. It's 131
He's
out of
going for the kill.
for the wraparound. The arrow, of course, he is in Viz, not in true sight range. He walked around it. 3's top also setting up, but again, a kill here would certainly allow him to pick up the tower, but he's heading bottom instead.
He knows these supports just desperately want their levels right now. Elder Titan, very level dependent. We talked about that last game. This game, Disruptor's level 6 is crucial. Mainly, I would say for the Timbersaw because he's the one having a super explosive start, but also a bit to catch out Mirana. So, trying to find that kill. It's not going to happen, but he will rotate bottom.
And that leaves this lane open mid for them to go and work on the tower. And again, this tier 1 tower mid, huge access point, takedown. DC, they have such good deep push, and you can see it every time. Soxa's already using a Splinter Blast that is level 3. The big problem, he runs out of mana very quickly. No arcane boots. Getting a Sage's Mask into perhaps a Soul Ring going his way. We'll see what he picks up. Misery, of course, he needs his level 6, and he's level 3. Misery's levels, not that great of a start for him. It's just not what they're looking for. And LGD, his pressure's starting to mount up a little bit.
Yeah, it is a Veil Rush mod. Good call there. So with the Veil Rush, Piper BKBs will be in order for DC as the game moves along. That is a big weakness for Timbersaw. Yeah, reactive armor is great against physical damage. They have a lot of nuke damage this game, whether it's the Necrobook, the Elder Titan to further buff it up. The Necrophos ult is huge magic damage late game. The Disruptor offers a lot.
Yeah, not necessarily burst either. Just the damage over time that he provides, as well as the rest of his team, pretty significant. So we'll see how much damage they can get done with the Veil. Because it'll be coming out here pretty soon. They can start pushing top a little bit more aggressively. Misery and
they have the vision here. They might be able to set up a glimpse if he's not careful. Static Storm's ready.
Sentry is down. Xiaowei walking forward, looking for Aurora, but he'll get the glimpse back, and now Misery caught in the trap of the kinetic field, and he just gets at least right clicks down.
Meanwhile, mid lane.
Then go on him. It looks like DK is going to get caught by 3, maybe. Not tanky enough to withstand the Star Storm, and, well, 3 hero gank is really all that it takes for DC to bring him down. And they get the tier 1 tower for a victory as well.
DC are trading well here. They're going to lose their second tower, but they've already taken 2 from LGD. I would not call DC's lineup a great push strat, but they're good at clearing creep waves. They're not great at killing buildings. Elder Dragon form, Beastmaster with Inner Beast being leveled up, now level 2. Normally you'd think this lineup is the better one, but another catch by MMY.
Soxa thunderstruck now, and of course he'll just actually use Zarkbird to get and fly over the ravine and somehow survive after that glimpse was used. Some smart play from the Wyvern. Some really good play from DC's position 5 player in this game.
Had a big impact in a tough position. DC looking for the tower deny mid. But they will lose 3 outer towers here, man. It takes Soxa a while. Slowly whittling it down.
Oh, man. He's 60 base damage. He's getting there. He'll get it done finally. But as he's doing that, there's smoke being set up by LGD with Xiaowei leading the way. Again, Roar should be up and ready to go. They use the Moonlight Shadow. No, they have it ready for Mirana. I have to pop it as they're trying to rotate in and find someone. No one in the jungle farming, but the tier 2 tower. And underneath it, Saksa, that's where he's located. And now, TP, how deep are they going to go?
They have
to drop that ward down now. That's great vision with the Hawk on top of it.
They also have Dust here, so they're ready for Moonlight Shadow. They're ready for Bounty Hunter. I think they actually walked a little too close to the tower, which is why the smoke broke, because Elder Titan was still smoked.
Oh, they're going to throw out the Chakram. Misery, does he have trap yet? It looks like he's still only level 5 and he's stomped up now. Jowie looking for a roar target. He'll find Saksa. They don't want that cold embrace. Here comes the Earth Splitter. They'll bring him down with an Necro ulti as well. 36 seconds down. Good. Static Storm. Weehaw in trouble. The stomp comes through as well, but aggressive getting chased down. Moon will find the kill. Moonlight Shadow on top. 1-for-1 trade so far.
They have a sentry though. DC have to be careful about engaging into this.
Gonna back out now. Moo on the other side. Arrow not gonna connect. Very close.
Glimpse is ready. Anyone who overextends is likely dead.
Misery might be the one. He's got his raindrop. Might not save him. They have the thunder back like you talked about. Misery thunderstruck, and there it is. Brought back to the kinetic field and will drop as maybe gets to breathe fire. That's more than enough to get the kill, but do keep the tower alive, but it's still very low. All in all, that's very good for LGD.
Was a scrappy fight from them. It was pretty good for them. At the same time, Weehaw is closing on Aghanim Scepter. Resolution just getting towards what looks to be a BKB, or at least some sort of tank item, so he can take this 5v5 fight. Timbersaw Bloodstone has been slowed down a bit, but he's still on a decent clip for it. Just needs about like a little under 1,500 gold or so before he can complete it. So they're getting there, Mott. I feel like LGD were expecting a little bit more of an explosive start. The main thing is that DC have gotten more out of towers than what LGD were looking for, or to be giving away.
Even with this bad laning phase from Misery and really just the supports from DC, they're still finding more than enough net worth for both the Timbersaw as well as that Mirana. Now the track's up. It'll be into Shao 8. Got the vision.
There is a new Blink Dagger on Maybe. He's also got a Haste Room bottled. I don't think DC have seen this yet. This could be huge. One Blink kill probably leads to 2 or 3, but he gets scouted by a dire scan. Tries to move in.
And they're going to back up. It looks like DC will stay together underneath that tier 2 tower. Once more, a safe haven for DC in this game. They'll push out a little bit further. Misery left to the top lane to his own devices. Or split push it again. LGD, their mission is to at least push these towers down. And again, they have a push strat. They need to get it going. They have Elder Dragon form. It's only level 1. They're lacking a little bit on levels as well. We need to get something going here.
I'm trying to split push. This time, though, there's no easy tier 1s. The one that they could go for top is that's the lane being pushed. So LGD get a freebie. They do reveal the Blink Dagger. No big item progression, just the Necro Book being built up. They're spending a lot of time 5-manning. If LGD lose a fight, they're going to fall really far behind, because DC, meanwhile, keeping up their farm. You can see 3 of their cores in the top 4 right now. Timbersaw ahead when it comes to last hits by a significant margin. These pushes have to continue working.
Fall down, and it's just going to clear out this creep wave. I mean, they've gotten almost all of the outer towers save the tier 2s, both mid and bottom. They've got some good vision down, and with all those towers down, they still don't have a net worth advantage. In fact, it's only about 500, and it just started going their way. But the Moonlight Shadow will come out for Digital Chaos. Resolution setting up at the top lane, but DC, they're just going to Moonlight Shadow and, well, keep Sox at the bottom, I suppose. At this point, that's all they're really doing.
Moonlight Shadow and chill. Was actually scouted by a Radiant Observer Ward while he was farming, so. Aghanim's is coming. The split push will ramp up from him. Timbersaw now has Bloodstone. See, are looking pretty good here. Like, I do think LGD's lineup goes quite late. If Necrophos gets an Aghanim Scepter, you can never count this hero out.
Right.
Even if you're down a lot. But the way they've itemized, Blink Dagger on Maybe, not prioritizing Ancient farming too much, they stacked it. They haven't cleared the stack. He doesn't have a Dominator. Peacemaster is pretty much the standard build. Supports are constantly with the team. Don't think the way they're building gives them much access to late game. And remember, Mott, they're up against track gold, so one bad fight, which could come now with the Mirana Ags and the smoke, would be devastating to LGD.
How many times did we see this Mirana Ags get picked up and then the fight turn around so swiftly? I mean, it's
sudden 4 or 5 hero wipe, and you're like just scratching your head.
It just came out of nowhere, and it might happen again.
Good
DC might
positioning
come out of
though.
nowhere.
A scan from the Radiant doesn't find anything.
There's the arrow. He's going to scout some things out. Thing really seen so far, and Digital Chaos will back up smartly, looking like the old trap is being set, and it was. LGD were about to spring it on them if they walked up that staircase, but it's not going to be the case, as maybe we'll just go ahead. It looks like now he wants to at least stack up this H stack and get it a bit further.
Duty's turn to try and make a move MMY. Almost in glimpse range for Misery there. They have these deep wards for LGD, so that's why when DC go for the smoke, yeah, they were up on their high ground. LGD didn't actually see the smoke, but they still see there's nobody near the base, there's nobody farming the lanes farther out.
Right.
So where are they? They're either Moonlight Shadow ganking, or Smoke ganking, or they're sitting in their base. They're not that far behind where they would likely be in their base, so LGD using that knowledge of where DC are not to determine where they are.
It's a Blink Dagger picked up by Aggressive, and now the 5-man continues for LGD. They'll push forward together. The other important items coming out. Well, they already have that Elder Dragon form. There's the Blink in. They have got the stun. Saxa still has the Cold Embrace, and he's actually doing okay. It looks like they weren't ready for that.
The glimpse, though.
Back, though, and even with that Cold Embrace, he might not survive, and he should fall to at least one more right click, and it should be the case, as they will take this Tier 2 tower as well. Double damage rune. They do not want to waste this on maybe. They might go top or right into this Tier 3 tower mid.
They've used Moonlight Shadow, but the sentry is down. It's not that far forward. It doesn't see DC heroes on the high ground. And Wyvern is a really important part of stalling pushes, though. The threat of a good Winter's Curse is really scary against Gyrocopter, Timbersaw, but they don't find it. It's the LGD who go in.
He's going to go down. That's the Necro ulti bringing him down. 62 seconds on the sidelines, and suddenly
no buyback caught.
They have now gotten a secured lead, and the Tier 3 tower almost down. Like you said, no buyback, dead for 50 still. They will back up. They could pressure further, but they decide against it, as DC are now on the hunt. At least that's what it looks like. They'll just push out the wave here real quick. And maybe look to see if they're in Roshan, but other than that, it is, again, a big kill going the way of LGD.
Flip side, while DC do have track gold, they're not getting track kills, so it doesn't really matter if you have the bounty hunter. LGD are always 5-manning. This is a huge weakness of the hero. Does basically nothing against 5-man unless the enemy team is forced into a mistake and you're able to chase them the other way. But if they push carefully, if they don't give him openings, then Misery is basically useless. All he really offers to the team is the move speed from track. Not a good enough reason to pick the hero on its own. So having not gotten a whole lot done in the laning stage, and now LGD not making mistakes in their pushes, he struggles to find his place in this game.
You're better off with Ricky in this position as Misery, just the track gold primary reason, one of the primary reasons you pick this hero.
Yeah, like but it's not over yet. You could definitely still get the track kills, just hasn't happened yet, but
and that's
LGD are happy about
that's a part of the comeback factor here for DC. Still, obviously, a pretty nice lead going the way of LGD. See, net worth now up to 3,000 in favor of that squad. Still, that's not that big of a lead. 20 minutes as the Aghanim Scepter is Weehaw. He's going to get roared up, though. Necro units bringing him low. The mana burn, significant damage. Does he have enough to leap away? It's down for 3 seconds, and he will not be able to get out.
Oh, that's a big kill for the Director. He had a ward here in the jungle. The deep ward mid set them up for the Wyvern kill, which in turn set them up to almost take that tier 3 mid. Now another deep ward sets up the Mirana kill, which in turn is going to mean significant pressure on this tower, even just from the creep army alone. Meanwhile, they can also look to go in the mid lane on Resolution.
Wow, they're actually setting up for this. The Earth Splitter coming out with the Dragon Tail. BKB comes out, but he does get caught still. The TP will come through, but it is a 10-second BKB charge that he just picked up, and that's his first item. Resolution goes for first item BKB and uses the charge just to survive a gank.
He got it because LGD were just going to 5-man onto the high ground, and the item is very helpful there, but...
Oh, look at this ancient stack. That is something else. The axes, the Elder Dragon form with the splash damage. Watch the net worth increase dramatically.
More initiation for LGD now. They got a Blink of Beastmaster. They already have the Spirit and the Hawk to scout for glimpses. Now they have another way to initiate, which is the Blink Roar, to go with the Blink Dragon Tail. DC really needs something. They're not getting track kills. Now they're afraid to go out on the map. The analysts talked a lot about Timbersaw being really good against 3 strength heroes. DC's cores are very good at flash farming, but can't really flash farm if you're terrified of getting ganked, and against Disruptor, double blink on the Initiators and a Hawk, you're always afraid.
Yeah, they had to smoke up to get out of their base. DC now sitting in the tree line. You can see it. Still though.
And no outer towers, except for that tier 2 bottom. That's the other thing.
That is a good tower to have. Again, access to Roche. Pretty important, but yeah, you'd like to have a lot more, especially in that mid lane.
It only lets you farm like 2 camps safely, though.
Yep.
It's only somewhat safe at that.
LGD with their own smoke right now, looking to find a pickoff, and they won't see anybody as, again, 2 ships passing in the night as LGD, they'll move top, and it looks like, well, DC moves bottom. They should be able to get this tier 2 tower. Although there is a glyph, they can TP to defend it if they so choose.
They're coming high ground mod.
Yeah, they might just go straight up for that tier 3 tower to finish it off. No glyph for DC as well, making it too hard for this tier 2 tower. There they go.
How do you kill Dragon Knight with a BKB now? Necrophos about to get one. There's no physical damage on DC. This is going to be very difficult to stop.
They do find that kill somehow. That'd be great. Gloom's back coming in.
Who's out of the fight?
Yeah, he's gone. Timber's still out of it. Now the BKB, the Winter's Curse comes out aggressive, taking a lot of damage here, getting low, almost down. Deathbolt's keeping him alive. You can see the right foot coming in. They jump in, and there's the action. Verana. Weon gets the kill. Static Storm will off the mark right now. LGD has health for most of them. Moonlight Shadow not saving him. He's low. And now there's going to be the Cold Break saving his life, and Moo has arrived, cleaning them up. He wants more. Timber Chain coming in. Stomp. They'll lock him down in place. Arrow coming through. Will it hit? And he just is able to make it away. TP's going to be able to get him out of that bad position.
Oh man, we almost killed 3-4 heroes there. Almost dying as well. This Marana living a fairly charmed life overall. LGD, they don't fully break the lane, but they get what they want in mod. They got melee racks. Giving up a handful of kills is okay at this stage of the game. Gonna be round 2 where things get really scared. And remember, that was before Necrophos has his own BKB. Bressy, about 1,000 gold, maybe 900 gold away. Once he gets it, they're not getting that kill. This team is gonna need to build into physical damage, and Gyrocopter is not very good at single target burst. This is a hero that is more about spread damage, and in the early to mid game, or without farm, much more about nuke damage. Marana, similarly, especially with the Ags build, which is what we always see now, This is entirely magic damage. Timbersaw, entirely magic damage. So they have nothing to do with BKBs. Not to mention, the Winter's Curse does not affect nearby units that are BKB'd, as we saw in that fight with the Dragon Knight. So, feels to me like, unless DC need that farm, and until they get it, the BKBs are their kryptonite. LGD recognizing that, looking to punish, and then all you have to itemize against is physical damage. You can see an armlet on maybe now. He is incredibly tanky.
I mean, LGD at this point, they could easily just, smoke up or find a pick somewhere. Take Roche, which is yet to be taken in this game. I think it might have been taken once, actually. And that's it. They can just push high ground at that point. And again, they've gotten all the outer towers. The melee racks is gone in that mid lane. And DC they're still holding it out, but it's going to be tough. Again, like you said, physical damage, a pretty big necessity at this point. But see if it can survive long enough through these fights to wear out those BKBs and to get some more damage done. They'll smoke up, they'll head towards the mid lane, and then we'll look for more. Scan, that's from the Radiant. They're going to head over to Roche. And it looks like DC might be able to find this at the perfect time if they head in there.
This could be a dream flank, or it could be a complete train wreck mod. The Hawk is to the north. There's not really much vision for LGD here.
Moonlight Shadow, Sentry, they don't have it.
They have the Necrophos though.
Yeah, we gotta get caught. Static Storm, nicely timed, but still the BKBs are there. Mystery caught first. Boulder Breaks on top, Earth Splitter coming out as well. It looks like Resolution might get caught. Great Winter's Curse to save him. Maybe he's still trying to bring him down, but he can't quite get there. But with the Dragon Tail, he will finish him off. It's a dominating spree, but now Moo comes in, chalk him there. There's the ulti keeping him alive. And Necro ulti actually saving him for a moment, but the DK will end up falling. There's still going to be more damage, and now it looks like they're cleaning up. DC cleaning out. Moo's out of killing spree. He gets 2. They've gotten a 3rd with Soxa getting a double. Arrow hits up, Starstroke damage, and DC rolling over the side of LGD. That is a gigantic fight.
That's a lot of track gold. So, big things that went wrong for LGD in that fight were complete airball on the Static Storm. They had to commit the Necrophos ult just so that the DK could armlet toggle there. They weren't able to focus a Roar target down early in the fight. And Dragon Knight, his BKB wore off. They weren't able to find kills. So, DC kind of won that fight just by outlasting and avoiding a big engagement while the BKBs are up. And The pipe definitely helping them to do that. Moo, when AKBs are down, it's a complete reversal. DC are very scary, very difficult to deal with, and suddenly Moo, 17 Bloodstone charges, VOTs, he can buy them now. DC will get some time to farm off the back of that fight.
Yeah. A young player in North America.
That completely wipes out the entire gold lead, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, he's chewing into it. He's sitting at third in the net worth, right alongside the DK as well as the Beastmaster, and the Hexapose is even further behind, but only by 1,000. Moo is doing his damnedest at this point with, like you said, the 17 Bloodstone charges. Let's see what he wants to go next. He might be saving up for that Blink Dagger, I would imagine.
LGD are smoked. They're in the river.
They're going to clash. They're going to find Misery. Sentry's there, and they should be able to bring him down. Stun up the Dragon Tail. They blink forward. They're looking for more. Doxa, actually, Arctic Burn out only to get glimpsed back in and caught. BKB popped by aggressive. They really wanted to get those 2 kills.
They know kills mean Roshan, and that is what LGD want now. Or maybe they just want a tier 2. They were thinking about the push in the bottom lane. Instead, they're going to rotate into the pit. The Necro Book is going to end very soon, though. There is a buyback on Wyvern, but I think even then it's still tough for DC to justify a fight without the bounty hunters who can track gold. So they'll give up Roche, but having won that one previous fight, it's still not too shabby for them overall.
Yeah, I mean, Winter's Curse could set up something great in a Roche pick, but DC looks like they're gonna, like you said, let this go. This is falling too quickly. Weehaw will shoot an arrow, but again, it's just backing up and farming for Digital Chaos as LGD will take Roche. And this is the timing that they might need to have to push up to the high ground and finally take the base of DC.
Got 1 melee Rex. They still scale. LGD have really good late game. Necrophos Ags eventually, I imagine, will be a pickup. Party of Elder Titan with the max natural order. Your Beastmaster is farming really well. Xiaowei, second most farm here in the game, is an off-lane Beastmaster. Either building towards, it looks like it could be a potential Lotus Orb here, maybe a Liquid Sphere, maybe a Refresher, just so we can get the double roar off. Lots of good opportunity for Beastmaster to go into late game. Disruptor can force out BKBs, speaking of BKBs.
There's that BKB coming from...
aggressive
that
popping
finger,
his the China
fingered BKB.
The made in China BKB. Just wanted to make sure it works. An aggressive.
Well, that's a
Confirms it
9-second
does.
charge down. That's not the greatest thing.
I don't think DC saw it though.
No, I think it is based at the time. So.
And even if they did see it, let's be honest, you don't really want to fight into LGD's towers when they've ages. So. Whittles down the duration, but that's about it.
We'll get lower and lower, but again. That's the big thing. You can still, if you can get these BKBs lower, see more of that caster build being put to good use for Weehaw. Again, he is still owning the Blink Dagger, Boots of Travel, and Aghanim set. You'll have to make a decision. Misery top lane. They get caught out.
They don't have a gem right now. No Necro Book.
Not available.
In that lane is currently Xiaowei bottom. He's just farming away. You rarely see Xiaowei spend this much time farming.
He is, like you said, looking for that Refresher Orb, which could be huge, but I'm surprised he hasn't gone a BKB of his own at this point. That would be a nice choice for the Xiaowei Beastmaster. See maybe later on down the road if that's what he wants to pick up.
The pressure is pretty big. Thing is, like, they don't have anything that directly deals with the roar. You know, the panel talked about some of the options there, whether it's an Oracle, Dazzle, and less commonly we see heroes like Abaddon picked up. At least Volvo likes to play the hero, but something like that. So double roar is big. The best thing you can do is Cold Embrace, but there's so much magic damage on LGD. That also just sets up a Static Storm very easily, an Earth Splitter potentially, that I don't feel like Cold Embrace is a particularly great save this game. So having double roar in this game is very big, and it's also a super fast refresher, all things considered.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for something like.
He's already got double perseverance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And is indeed a refresher.
Yeah, he's picked up the recipe. Yeah, it's huge, like you talked about. With roar, I mean, it's just gonna be a lot of lockdown for DC to deal with, and everyone heading over now. Down to this bottom lane, Moo pushing out, Xiaowei looking for the roar. He did blink up, and he's gonna find Toxic. Glimmer Cape is there. Moonlight Shadow, and he will actually be able to escape under the guise. But maybe not so lucky as getting the rest of his crew as they have found another pickoff. It's going to be Misery again falling once more. Down for 42. with no buyback.
Man, the vision strats. This was what made the director famous back in the day. It was the solo mid Beastmaster. Just the map control style he would employ. They have the Spirit to give vision, and where the Hawk fails, the Spirit carries the heavy load. Shall we? Actually, Necrobook was on cooldown there. I think otherwise he may have used it and found the Wyvern, but still they get that one pick mod, and now they look for their second lane of rack.
They found Moo. There's going to be the jump in. They get the jump in with the Dragon Tail. Sentry's down again. Not much detection here for LGD. They need more of it. Chakrum's coming through. Moo jumps in aggressively, pushes back LGD.
Did force out the pipe to get a glimpse.
And they're going to find Moo, but now the damage under the maybe. Arrow comes through. They found him. Doesn't have the edge. He will fall. Dead for 60. It's going to be the Earth Splitter, slowing Resolution down a little bit. Aggressive BKB now down. Starstorm. So much damage from Weehaw. They help to kill him the second time. We'll see if they can, and they will be able to jump in. Timber Chain is going to get destroyed.
Oh my god. That Glimmer, just Resolution glimmered away to safety. Survives the Necro ult there. The track comes out for Misery. 2 kills, Mott. Nearly 3,000 gold. It is now level 2 track for Misery. AC, just a pick here, a pick there. That is all they need, and LGD now buy a gem. They don't want Misery catching them out like that. Just a big mistake by the Dragon Knight. Did not pop his BKB early enough and wasn't expecting the arrow. Very clutch play from Wee, but something you have to avoid. If he's BKB'd, he definitely lives. It's a much different fight. They also did not use the double roar there. LGD not chaining their spells together properly, but credit to DC, they punish.
Yeah, and Weehaw now, the question is for him, what do you buy? He has the ultimate orb. There's so many choices. Both caster as well as physical damage, or at least right click. He would go for the Mantis style if he really wants to. We'll pick up the Yasha first, more than likely, if that was the case, but let's see what he decides to pick up, though. What are you thinking for Weehaw on this Piranha, LG?
It looked like he might be getting a Lincoln Sphere. It potentially could be a Hex, but I think he's just worried about that Blink Dragon Tail or Roar punishing him when he split pushes, so if he gets a Lincoln Sphere, he's a lot more free to move around in the fights. There's options like Scotty, I suppose. I don't think Mantis is particularly great this game.
Lucian getting chased down. Banana looks like he'll be the first call, but on the other side, there's going to be the Dragon Tail bringing down Toxa. No more Winter's Curse available, but that BKB falling slowly. They don't have the glimpse like LGD does, however. The Static Storm. Weehaw will walk through it. She's going to protect him. On the other side, it looks like they have roared up, though. More damage coming through. You can see, look at how low maybe he is. He's about to fall. Move. Timber Chain up. Will bring him down. 3 dead. 63 seconds for him to be on the sidelines. And Timber Saw again. Moo doing so much work in these fights.
The track gold is piling in now. That was a nice job by Weehaw, just dodging the Static Storm. Also got the gem there. The first hero down, Elder Knight, was the one carrying it, so
look at this graph,
the gold swing is very big. And there will be a Lincoln Sphere for Weehaw. Now initiating on the Mirana gets much tougher. LGD with a really strong 5-man draft, but we just haven't seen that crisp execution you'd expect, and you have to wonder how much does having a last-minute substitution hurt them. They've been able to keep it together so far. But Nana, the coach, hasn't played competitively for quite some time at top level, having to step in last-minute for Sep. They mentioned in some of the videos we saw previously, they only had about a week to practice. The item that can change the game for LGD is the one that Aggressive nearly has, though. He's about to get an Ags. DC have itemized well to deal with this, whether it's the Glimmer Cape on Soxa, the Lincoln Sphere on Moo, about to be a second Lincoln Sphere on Weehaw, or the Pipe on Moo. Like, their items are great to deal with Necrophos' ult. But if he gets that kill, Mon, to lead a hero from the game for that long, LGD might just take a second or third lane of Rax. It's not over yet.
A lot of these heroes for DC pretty important. They're 3 cores, all of them. You lose one, that's huge. Arrow will not connect onto LGD, but you can see they're sitting across the river, kind of staring each other down right now. Misery, of course, looking for more tracks. See if they decide to go in here. Tracks called Shao 8.
They want to fight this. There's no dire vision of this Dragon Knight.
The wraparound will come through. It'll be MMY. Maybe he's up on the high ground right now. He's got the Elder Dragon form with the Blink Dragon Tail. Looks like he's going to go for it.
Shao 8 is baiting so hard.
They haven't jumped in yet, but it looks like they're about to. I'm surprised they haven't gone already. It's actually Moo that jumped in. He'll find maybe. The Glimmer Cape comes out early just to keep him alive and away from that Timber Saw, who has 21 Bloodstone charges.
Xiaohui's just sitting there in the middle play like, hey guys, come and gank me, I'm trapped, come kill me. They were hoping that everyone from DC would collapse on him. As this arrow comes in mid, barely miss. And then they were gonna jump the whole DC squad, look for a big static storm, but instead DC, they just saw the Dragon Knight, they chase him away. And when Elder Dragon form is down, LGD will have to play much more conservatively. That's a very important part of their team fight.
Roche up and about, 2 minutes roughly. Back up, and again, a pick here before Roshan is not only huge, it could be potentially game-winning, especially like if you said that Aghanim Scepter is up for aggressive and Necrophos is getting dangerously close for DC's 400 gold away. Many a game have been lost to just an Aghanim's Necrophos ulti. It's too much to deal with. It's like 100 and some odd seconds on the sideline with no buyback.
Not really worth saving for buyback unless you're very confident it won't kill you, which they might be. They've got really good tools to deal with it item-wise, as I mentioned. So DC, I don't think they're in any huge hurry here. The main thing for them is just securing Roshan, slow the game a bit. They will look to push out the side lanes, but the nature of the LGD draft, the way they itemize early Blink Dagger, Dragon Knight, a lot of 5-manning around the Beastmaster, constantly sieging and pushing towers. They were banking on early Rex, multiple Roshans, starving DC, and ending the game early. Now they have to go to plan B. That is this Aghanim Scepter and aggressive.
Now, with that completed, the smoke comes out from both teams here. They're going to meet each other in the middle of the jungle, and it's a rumble in the jungle. Resolution found out first. Necro ulti, not going to kill, but it will bring him low. It'll pop the BKB. Earthsplitter coming out as well. Might connect. Resolution so low. But LGD are the ones to back up, and here comes Moo. Here comes Moo. Chakram, the whirling death as well. There's the Winter's Curse of Banana, and Xiaohui is killing his brethren. Banana not falling. Static Storm. It will miss Misery as well as, of course, Moo walking out. The Starstorm will bring down one. Can they get two? Aggressive being pushed to the base. The Shuriken bouncing through.
They just routed them. LGD, they, again, the Glimmer Cape phase from Soxa saving his teammates. We're just not seeing this Necrophos ulti net them kills. This Wyvern has been on point, and he does it having had a very rough start to the game, but one tiny item can make a huge difference. That plus the pipe. And then you also have to make sure you get it off with the Lincoln Spheres to worry about, or really throwing a wrench into the game plan. And they commit all that, they drop all their BKBs, they don't get any kills. When those BKBs are down, they just have to run. You see LGD try to escape. It was a good defensive static storm by MMY. They still lose 2 cores again. And now this game has become DC's to lose. Misery said top 6 at this event. That's about what they were expecting. A lot of players said they wouldn't be content with anything more than top 3, even going the whole way. But this team is closing in on their dream, and the win here, I believe they would move into the top 8.
And of course, after that loss yesterday, they need something to go their way. DC, of course, playing very well, winning the last couple of fights. Mood's been on fire this game, though. These 22 Bloodstone charges, sitting up to 2,500 gold now. Pipes up the Lincoln Sphere, everything. We've talked about it. And not only that, but the rest of his team starting to come online as well. The BKB for the Mirana done.
LGD, decent physical damage, but it's not great. Maybe went for the Mjolnir this game. Did not go for an Assault Caress, which we often see on Dragon Knights. Yeah, they have Elder Titan. Beastmaster with the Necrobolt and Blast hits reasonably hard, but BKB still makes a big difference. The other thing is it lets you kill the Necrobolt safely. You don't have to worry about the last will punishing you, so gives them more confidence in these fights.
Yeah.
And of course, blocks the Necrophos ult. So DC have correctly identified that the main way they can lose this game is getting up a core kill to the Necrophos ult in a situation where LGD can just muscle down a lane of rack. So as long as they avoid that, this is their game to lose. I love the way they're itemizing. They are making good calls under pressure. LGD, they're the ones backs against the wall who have to force things, and that is not a comfortable position.
I will say, though, for Resolution, even though he is relatively tanky and against that Necro ulti, with the BKB now down to 5 seconds in duration, it's going to be tough. He's going to have to time it well, although he has the Aegis, so, I mean, he's fine one way or another for at least the next fight, or the next start of the fight. The Astral will come through, get some vision, see how we'll clean up the creep wave, and it's time for DC to push in what feels like the first time in forever. Jump in, and Tier 2 tower will fall shortly.
Xiaohui split pushing. LGD, they're only going to defend on the high ground. where you keep an eye on buybacks. And currently 3 on the Dire with an Aegis. Only 1 on the Radiant. Now DC moving the team, these Ancients away. Don't really see LGD fighting outside their base. At least not without knowing how many DC heroes are there. So more gold pouring into the Digital Chaos coffers. They're closing in on it, Mont. Now a butterfly for resolution.
Somebody worked really hard on those ancient stacks, and they're now gone. And in the hands of DC. Again, they go down so quickly that honestly, LGD, they can't contest. They have to just sit back and watch. They have to sit in their base as well.
They've also been dewarded. That's the other thing. Losing that gem, I guess it was, what, 10 minutes ago now? 8 to 10 minutes or so, has been really big. They haven't bought a new one. I suppose they probably could have by now if a core wanted to commit to it, but then you're slowing your core's item progression. Gem actually not up for 30 seconds, so LGD lacking map control where their lineup normally excels at that because of the gem loss. It's allowed DC, that plus Aegis has given them a lot of confidence to push out and actively seek objectives.
Let's look at the buyback status here and just see how bleak it is for the Radiant team. There's no buyback status after that 4 staff was purchased by the Beastmaster, so the Dire team, DC, are absolutely in control of this game, and all they need to do is either find a pick and start pressuring the high ground or just go for the high ground regardless. This is not an easy, but again, LD, like you talked about, it's that Necro ulti that can maybe do the job for LGD, at least push them back.
Still 2 minutes on the Aegis. Still a Glimmer Cape to save resolution, as well as the Cold Embrace. They can just siege with resolution plus the Lincoln Spears in front. Even if he dies once, you're fine. It was middle
Lincoln
box.
Spears popping left and right, maybe coming in with a drag tail. Can't find anything the stomp will hit, however.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
To
attack.
hit the buildings here, just chip away with resolution in front. Patient play from DC.
Maybe Lincoln Sphere popped again, still is able to get stunned. Maybe is then tracked up. And why he's been missing these static storms. He needs a big one. Resolution taking a fair bit of damage without Satanic or anything to really heal him back up. Have to back up, it looks like. They will give him Cold Embrace. They also just used the mech as well.
Resolution still relatively healthy. DC just want to continue sieging. Won't take any risks. Try to make sure LGD don't have vision. They have the track right now on Dragon Knight. Still LGD being forced to go in.
That Death Pulse doing some damage. Aggressive backing up. Blink Roar, Misery caught. Green Fire. Good Cold Embrace to keep him alive. They will take the tier 3, but can they get out? Misery. Winner's curse on a maybe. And now he's in trouble. The chopper put on where he stands right now. Static Storm missing again. And Moo continues to go crazy. And the Roar is blocked by the Lincoln Spear. Shelley trying anything he has at his disposal, but he's down. He does have his buyback for resolutions. Chasing after aggressive. He'll find him as well. 2 buybacks. And they're both on those heroes.
They do find the glimpse, though. They don't tier 4s. Moo getting caught out. They might lose the Timberstone. Does he Bloodstone deny? It doesn't happen. That's 1,000 gold LGD's way. And Aggressive is on the chase. Do they have another glimpse
They
at
gotta
the ready?
get out. DC now trying to run and escape. There's still 8 seconds left here for him to respawn. He could TP in if he so chooses to, but at this point in time, it looks like
The
LGD.
hero creeps mod. They're just pushing down mid for LGD. They got a free range Drax out of that.
Yeah.
Bounty Hunter deleted for a very long time. Still 50 seconds on the sideline. DC slightly overplayed their hand diving that far, but they did force out 2 core buybacks. They have not taken Rax. That is the real objective here. Need to keep mind of that. Gotta be careful down the stretch. This is where LGD have pulled off some miracles. When you try to break high ground against the Xiaowei team, beware the buybacks.
Simultaneously remembering what happened to them at Manila with the Fnatic, of course. Some great plays from DJ on that Enigma at the end of the game in Game 3. They were the one to pull out the miracles in that particular tournament. DC, they're still looking strong, but LGD obviously, and they're able to get out of their base. That kill on the Timbersaw, pretty big. They will pick up a Hood of Defiance now for the Elder Titan and get some more magical resistance going their way. But again, who's Roshan respawning? Still plenty of time for that. Obviously, the Aegis just going down not too long ago. Well, I don't know. LD for DC, do you wait for the next Aegis? Do you try to push?
I definitely think you wait for the next Aegis. The buybacks aren't a factor here if they get that pick off with the Necrophos. You have map control right now. Still have room to farm on all of your cores. Weeha's got an item slot. He's actually currently buying salves. team, it looks like. And Gyrocopter still a bit more room to grow. Can buy the Satanic, get even more difficult to kill. Both heroes have room for a Moon Shard. Moo is pretty much maxed out at this point, but get the Taser late game. Looks like Dagon 5 maybe he's building next, has already grabbed that staff. So I still think there's room for DC to build more in the way of items. And I also think that when you're up against this type of draft, one mistake just loses you the game. Like, that was a Bounty Hunter, and they were all the way in the LGD base, not a big deal. But imagine if that's the Mirana, the Timbersaw, the sidelines for upwards of 2 minutes. That can lose you the game.
Yeah. At that point, LGD pushes down whatever lane mid, maybe just going straight for the tier 4s, but buyback status on LGD's side again, having to use those two. They still have the TKs, but here we go. They're going to jump in. Moon will find Shower. He's low. The roar will come out. Now Moon is going to get caught with the cold embrace. He's going to stay alive and get healed up. His teammate helping him out with it, and of course that should be the end of it, but still, the Moonlight Shadow, they might even chase further. But no real target for DC to go after at this point. They'll throw out a casual arrow, won't land anywhere, but like a vision of maybe down that bottom lane. It looks like, yeah, there's some pain from Misery.
Oh, maybe just blinked up to the high ground. Very bold maneuver.
Dangerous. Dangerous play for maybe, but again, he does have buyback. But with that Elder Dragon form, dying here is also pretty critical.
Force out Elder Dragon form is a small victory for DC. And could be up by now, but it's actually almost a max duration respawn. So DC are going to have to wait a while. Grab the Aegis. They don't have a great sieger for DC. That's the one issue I see for their draft is Gyro does a lot of spread damage. He doesn't kill buildings that quickly. They don't have a Dragon Knight. They don't have a Death Prophet, even a Razor with an Axe. The Mirana has itemized for magic damage and control. Timbersaw is pretty abysmal at hitting buildings, even though he's close to 6 slotted at this point. So it has to be very slow work by DC, and part of why this game may drag on, even if they're going to win.
49 minutes, but it feels like it's even longer. DC have done everything, really, and it's just the Necro pick that's slowing them down a little bit. Maybe them making them hesitate just a hair. And they'll wait for Roshan again now. Another really long respawn, 1:40 before that is up. But
they know their tournament lives are on the line. A loss here, suddenly LGD has momentum. Sure, DC are capable of beating LGD in the game 3, but when you have a lead like this,
you don't want to,
last thing you want to do is throw it away on a silly mistake.
Yeah, you don't want to ever put yourself in that spot. You already have that solid lead. There's no need to go to game 3, but DC, they're going to go aggressive anyways. They're going to go for the racks.
Oh, they're going for the jugular. It's a slightly risky
No
plot.
lane's pushed in, really. They're just going to try to find a pickup by sitting down here, and nobody is coming. There's no lanes to farm down bottom. There's no wave to farm. And LGD will push out mid unless they want to wrap all the way through.
This is so aggressive from DC, but the smoke's about to end.
Are they going to actually go for it? No, they'll back up, but now they are going to push into the racks and try to clean this up. And LGD is forced to rotate a bit slowly, mind you. The Glyph is even going to be forced out.
Gets through on Resolution. They're just keeping that gyro alive.
Dragon Tail Resolution. Cold Embrace down. Static Stormed on top, but he has the BKBS already. He'll use it. Earthflare. Nice damage coming up and Showing still low. One more right click. He'll stay alive with the Cold Embrace. They'll turn. Maybe he's fighting on the other side. Trying to go toe-to-toe with that Gyrocopter. Arrow sailing through. Splits the, or goes straight through the upright fracture. That's good, actually, for Weah.
Resolution just praying to Saksa to keep on making these godly plays. They committed the Beastmaster diving deep there. They wanted to kill off the Wyvern or control him before he could save the Gyro, but once again, Saksa is on point, gets off the Embrace. He's been able to use the Glimmer Cape. That has made all the difference. I think Gyro walked away with about 50 HP that fight. He is saving this game for DC.
It was the last time they got a kill on someone that wasn't Misery. Misery did go down, obviously, in the Timbersaw, that last bottom push, but I think that was it. Yeah, that seems to be the case, and that was probably 10 minutes ago for LGD. This just shows you how much...
Like 15 minutes, and the last hero they killed before that was Saksa. It's been a long time since LGD has gotten a core kill.
Yeah, Saksa with the Cold Embraces has been on point. The Cold Embraces... They're all just so tanky as well. I mean, it helps that they built really well.
His positioning's great, and LGD have to really commit hard to initiate. Like, you're blinking past the entire DC lineup, often without vision, because they always have a gem, and they see the Hawk, they kill the Hawk right away. They don't have a Storm or a particularly great flanking initiator, so Now, even tankier for Resolution. He's going to buy the Satanic.
That is...
I love the itemization from DC. It's all about not dying to the Necro ult, playing it safe. He's going to get Aegis as well. The next push mod will be a melee Rax unless LGD take a fight. There's no glyph available. There's no tier 3 any longer. They're going to have to find that fight, or they're just going to have to play from a one lane of Rax at least game disadvantage. So at that point, it'll be even.
Yeah. Obviously, that Rax been helping out, but yeah, I mean, short of a chain stun upon chain stun going the way of Resolution, I don't think they can bring him down, especially now that he has the Aegis and, as you said, the Satanic. It just seems as if they're... I mean, LGD hasn't really done anything except push out waves. They've not got kills. They've really just not accomplished anything in the past 20 minutes.
There is an MKB on Navy. They have one hero that can hit him, but he's been getting ulted by the Wyvern almost every fight.
Ooh, still not that much damage, all things considered. Yeah, he has the level 3 Elder Dragon form, MKB, Mjolnir, and Armlet, but really not enough. Resolution with the Satanic, yeah. This is it. Obviously, the Necros are going to be popped a little early. Misery is going to start throwing the Rax out, but Showet looking for Misery might get dropped first, but the Necro is now gone. And everyone is still alive. And Resolution, yes, he will lose that Aegis, but everyone's still healthy for DC after BKB's. Witch's Curse comes out beautifully from Saxa. And the Starstorm right afterwards, Weehaw will find a kill. On to maybe, down for 80. No buyback as well, and Showet getting chased down. This might be it, LGD. Their tournament's taking live, their lives at stake, excuse me, and there's going to be Weehaw jumping into Starstorm coming through. They want more blood, and they want the Rax. They want to finish this off, and...
Still no Necro ult here for 30 seconds. Already a lane caved in. Saxa to the rescue again. He glimmered there. They used the move Pipe, and even though it was a very low HP, very under-farmed, well not under-farmed, but relatively minimal farm bounty hunter, they still couldn't kill him at half health. This Necrophos is just not working.
Oh no, Necro getting caught in the Starstorm 3 and the Chakram. Triple Starstorm, he has to buy back immediately. Lotusaur picked up for the bounty hunter.
Oh god, another way to punish the Necro, also a way to deal with the Beastmaster potentially.
They're gonna lose.
And it might not even matter, Mod. This is 2 lanes, it might be 3.
Yeah, it's gonna be 3. There's nothing they can do. DC are just gonna continue the pressure. This might be it for LGD. They've got to fight with one last gasp. It's so tough. Have Necro ulti back up, ready to go. Here's the Veil. He jumps in with the BKB, and Resolution is fine.
What you doing, buddy? I've got Lotus, I've got Lincoln, I've got BKB. You can't touch me, says Resolution.
Maybe. It's too late. He's arrived, but the Raxes are gone. All sets of Raxes down now for LGD as Baby respawns to find his base is broken. They only have the tier 4s to work with, but at this point, they're not GGing out.
You pretty much just death push now or forever hold your peace if you're LGD.
Already, DC getting prepared, Mood TPing home. They have plenty to work with, but if there's a will, there's a way, says LGD. They will try anything to continue this game, to get it going their way, to force that game 3. Scotty now done for the Gyrocopter. He's even tankier. Not that he needs the HP, but the armor helps as well. All of the attributes helping him out. 2.6 gold, plenty of buybacks, but again, that ultimate from the Necrophos that can really cause havoc for DC. Still, this is gonna be, it's gonna take a miracle, I feel like, here, LZ for LGD.
Oh god, now the refresher on Saxa. Ay, ay, ay.
Jumps in, Weehaw, Starstorm on just about everybody, but he is taking lots of damage. There still is that winner's curse. The first one, the Chakram, the second one coming out, and now all the damage coming through again. The static throw off the mark. Misery might fall short, but everyone else is dead. LGD will lose 3, and that's it. GG is called.
The 6'7" giant from Europe. MVP of this one, Saxa, pulling out all the stops to carry his team to victory from the 4-5 position support role. He keeps DC alive. Good overall showing by DC, but you just have to take your hat off to that Wyvern.
Saxa played incredibly. Again, we talked about the MVPs for the game, especially game 1. It was, of course, the entire team of DC, and in game number 2, it might be the same. Everybody from DC playing immaculately. LGD, a great start, especially in this game, but...
Two players that have tended every single TI, Shao 8, Misery hugging each other, but only one stays alive today, Mott.
What a performance. DC will move on, LGD out, and again, can't talk enough about Saxa. Still though, it just looked like LGD they had the draft for it, they had the push strat for it, LD. What went wrong there at the beginning of the game?
I just think they weren't able to take objectives quickly enough that game. They spent so much time 5-manning, and it was that one big fight where Mirana got Aghanim Scepter, caught them off guard, they get a couple of kills, then suddenly 3-4 track kills. That buys you a bunch of time. They denied LGD from taking Roche at that point. LGD just didn't hit their timings, and the way that they itemized somewhat forced them to. I think they could have gone later if they had focused more on the late game, but they didn't think they needed to. They thought they could win by 5-man and underestimated DC's ability to hold. If you're playing against Bounty Hunter and you're running a 5-man push strat, you just can't make mistakes, and they made too many. And with that, we'll see what the real experts think.
Well, gentlemen, I do declare that was a hell of a 2-0 by DC. A wonderful showing by them. But we got to give credit LGD, a team